Hey, shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom. Peace and blessings to everybody, man. Peace and blessings, man. All praises to the Most High for just another day, for bringing in another Shabbat, man, for all that He's done for us, man. Before we get started, and before I go any further, man, I like to say this in my household, man. If I had to thank the Most High for any and everything, I couldn't get a word. I couldn't get a word across. I couldn't speak no other words. It'll be holy, holy, holy all day and night, man. Because the Most High has truly been blessing us. He's been revealing things to us and been showing us the times. We've been watching, we've been praying. We got to get better. Some things to get better at, man. But just our praise to the Most High, truly and genuinely through the Spirit and through truth, man. But I am Brother Sa'ar, and I got the good brother Nathaniel with me.
Con.
Con.
I'll pray to the Most High, man. Hey, again, man, as always, we appreciate y'all joining us, man. We brothers, man. We're Iron Horn of Zion, man. And again, man, like the good brother said, man, like you could be doing anything else on your Friday night, but y'all chose to spend it with us, whether you're watching this live or whether you will watch this here in the near future, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Pray for us as we continue to, through the Spirit, edify, who the sheep that the Most High has given us. You know what I'm saying? And we pray that y'all endure, through these, perilous times and for what's to come, man. And hopefully y'all are edified as we keep bringing out this edification, man. We love y'all. And I'm a year right there, King.
Con, man. Just shout out to those that are enduring, that's really in this truth, keeping the commandments and the faith wholeheartedly. This wouldn't be a thing without y'all. So we truly appreciate y'all for enduring. We appreciate y'all for the zeal that you have, for letting your light shine. Continue to do that, man. Continue to do that in a world that's so dark, so full of tribulation and peril, a whole bunch of what ifs, and just things to come. Keep letting your light shine. Do not let it dim for nothing, man. But tonight, for the edification and what we want to bring out, we want to take a little switch and take a little turn because there's been a lot of things going on in the world that we just can't ignore. So we're going to briefly touch on some of these things, dealing with the war, dealing with Greek organization, dealing with a little bit of the Epstein files and just the hypocrisy that has been shown with those that run this country. So we're going to talk a little bit about everything, man. To start off, let me get Matthew 10 and 34. And while you getting that, man, just a heads up, the New Year is approaching. We got Passover coming up, I believe April 1st. Feast of Unleavened Bread right after that, so we're coming into joyous times, man. We just had the Feast of Purim that just came through. Destruction of Nicanor just passed. Now we getting into the beginning of the year, man. The flowers and things are coming back out. The blooms are coming back out. It's getting warmer, more tolerated seasons, man. The beginning of the new year, not in the dead of winter. The Passover, looking to all the holy days and the high holy days that are coming up. But that also is a sign of war. In all in antiquity and just throughout history, men went to war in the spring. Spring is most commonly known for wartime. You bring out that Matthew 10 and 34.
Con. This the book of St. Matthew, right? Chapter 10 and verse number 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Right, and all of this is the Lord's doing. We know that the Lord is stirring up the nations. The Lord is stirring up stirring up the kings of Arabia. The Lord is drying the Euphrates to make passes for them to come across, or he's engaging and he's deploying his tactics for them to engage one another. He's making a conflict for them to fight, to bicker, to argue. All of these nations, what we see in the Middle East. Because Yahushua said he came not to bring peace, but a sword. That's war. That's what we're seeing today. All of this is the Lord's doing, and we got to praise Him, man. And we gotta really stick closer to Him, to the Most High, and to each other in these times, because we know that the end is upon us. You can share my screen.
Con.
No, hold on. That's it right there. Can you see this image?
Yes, sir.
I'm zooming in a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
so make it bigger if you can, good brother.
Okay, what about now?
It's still a little distant.
Let me see.
Does it get the full screen?
Hold on, I just went to the. Can you see that? Okay, I know. Well, hold on, I gotta stop sharing. I gotta share
The full screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I'm tripping.
I was like, nah, that mug ain't moving. Con, I think we cooking.
We got something going now.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right. Let me see, and you can see my cursor too, right?
Yes, sir. Con.
Okay, so what we got here, we know Iran is in conflict with the United States. Iran is also in conflict with Israel. Iran is kind of tired of the Western fronts and their BS. We kind of know, and it's already been known that the United States is Israel's puppet. Israel has been saying since the 80s or the 90s that Iran is developing nuclear capabilities. So it's just been a whole bunch of tension there. Israel is on a conquest to cover all of this region that the scripture says from the Nile River all the way to the river Euphrates, and that includes Iran. It is believed that when the United States gathered up or they went and took the president of Venezuela, they took over their oil operations, and Venezuela is said to have very, very, very dense and very sluggish oil, and Iran is the key to unlocking that oil to mix together to make a more usable and efficient oil. That's why Iran and Venezuela kind of had partnership going on with the oil. It's just something about Iran's oil, and that's something that has been believed of why the United States is attacking Iran, apart with what's going on in Israel. But what I want to talk about is just oil in general and how it affects us in America. 20% of all gas and oil in the world flows through this right here, which is called the Strait of Hormuz. This little tip, or this little snakish bend right here. 20% of all oil across the world flows through there. Our imports and our exports is all determined by oil. Commerce and interstate things that's moving on 18-wheelers and transfer trucks. How you get your goods is determined by oil. The prices of your goods can be hindered or it can be disrupted by oil. oil production, whether we getting enough or getting not or not getting enough. Just last week, when I ran, when I ran in the United States, we're having a conflict going back and forth, and Iran was bombing. Oil prices here spiked in a 12-hour period. They went up $1 and some change, and that's just how quickly things can change when a fifth of the world's oil comes through here. Um, let's see, we have just in this area, we have Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Oman, and Pakistan. Um, I believe India gets 85% of their oil from Iran. Um, China gets 40% of its oil from Iran. Japan gets 75% of its oil from Iran. Saudi Arabia, which is right here, I forgot to mention them, they export 80 to 90% of their oil through the Strait of Hormuz. They can get the other 10 to 20% through the Red Sea. Yeah, they can get the 10 to 20% through the Red Sea, but most of their oil comes through here. Let me see. Pakistan gets 90% of its oil from Iran, either through the strait or through inside the country, going from country to country. The UAE, they export 70% of their oil through the Strait of Hormuz. So this right here, this little area and this little region right here controls a lot. And a lot of things will move and a lot of things won't move just based off that area right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a big deal. This war is really a big deal, and that's why a lot of nations not getting involved right now because they don't want that to be shut down. They really don't want it to be a war, but at the same time, if Iran shuts it down, they're gonna have to get involved. You know what I'm saying? Japan getting 75 to 80% of its oil from Iran through there. If Iran decide to shut it down, Japan gonna have to get involved. You know, we get we had a deal. The United States had a deal with Saudi Arabia back in the day. I can't. It might have been in the early 2000s. Worked out a deal with partnership with getting their oil. So if that strait is shut down, then it's going to be difficult for us here. So a lot of people like, oh well, we ain't never got to have, we ain't got to get war to come over here. We ain't got to have the bombs to drop over here. But just by this little area, this little waterway shut down, that's food, that's drinks, that's clothing, that's even your utilities. All of that is going to get a price increase on top of the inflation and just the cost of living today. So that's why I say when you have a shot, I mean when the Lord say, the prophets say that they're making when the Lord is making a way for the dragons of Arabia and all the kings of the East, this could very well be that a conflict for them to put their foot in and be involved until all come to war. Can you read? Let me get Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7.
Come on, I'm already here. Come on. This is the book of St. Matthew, right? Chapter 24 and verse number 7. Verse number 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Right. All these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. We all these things have to happen because the war isn't the kicker. It's the byproducts of war. It's the inflation. It's the it's what I'm talking about now. It's the byproducts of war. It's the famine that'll come if these byproducts happen. If this waterway gets shut off. It's the inflation and the influx of prices. It's the disruption of everyday life when a lot of people can't even afford what they got right now. A lot of people are a paycheck away from being out the door of their own house. You know what I'm saying? It's a more on that. Bring out the rest of that for me.
Con. All right. Verse number 7. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kindred. Kingdom against kingdom, Salakia. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
There should be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. I can already see how this can develop a famine, a shortage of food. Because them ships that go through there, it takes fuel for them to do that. The fuel is a product of the oil. You got to get there. If it's not enough, if we're not getting millions and millions of barrels to supply the imports and the exports, then it's just not gonna get here. There's not an alternative.
I can man, I wanted to kind of elaborate on what you were saying too, King. The brother bringing it out, what I'm saying, through the spirit. But I also want to add that, as we was discussing this a little bit off and on before we brought it to the sheet, is that one thing we got to realize is that unemployment was high as well. When taking all these things into consideration, right? I was looking at some statistics, and unemployment reached a peak of 4.6% toward the end of last year. And the statistics say that represents about 7.5 million unemployed people, right? So when we're going into these prophecies and things like that Christ was bringing out through the spirit, right? He's warning us, right, that conflict would be a sign of turbulent times, right? And that, we can tie into that war, like the brothers bring out, war not only affects the battlefield, right, but it also affects everyday civilians like me and you. You know what I'm saying? It affects economics, right? And overall, when looking at the grand scheme of things, it affects or what am I looking for? Global stability, right? Making sure that, like the brother is, bringing out, that everybody counts on, oil being able to propel their economics right in their country. You know what I'm saying? So we got to take this thing serious, man. Because, like the brother bringing out, man, we can't close a blind eye that the majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And one small increase in things could get them evicted, not being able to feed their family, which creates which creates chaos. Right? I'm gonna bring this out real quick, King. Let me get Second Ezra's 15 and 15, and I'm gonna get one more after that, King.
I got you. This is the book of Second Ezra's. You said 15 and 15.
Come.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 15, and verse 15. And it reads, I started 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
See that? You know what I'm saying? And we're not here to say that this is, oh, this is the end all be all, this is it. But this is what's gonna propel the end all be all. This is what's gonna get conflict and chaos arises amongst nations that agree or disagree. Right? And we're not saying that they may not come to a solution, because the brother read the things that Christ prophesied that will take place: famine, pestilences in different places, earthquakes, and things like that. That will be a sign of the end, right? So overall conflict and instability against the nations, man. Now watch this. Give me Ezekiel 4:16, King. The book of Ezekiel, the prophet, chapter 4 and verse 16.
So it's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, and verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment.
Right. So what is this going into? Scarcity, rationing, um, uncertainty about resources and things like that. Right.
Right.
You know, which creates what? Sedition of men, invading one another, that we can read about in Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Right. So man, we gotta be cognitive and circumspect of the times that we live in, man. You know, and what this should bring about is, oh, nation not desired needs to come together. You know, and I'm glad the brother had this on his spirit to bring out, because it ties into what we've already been talking about is this is your opportunity to love one another, because we're gonna need one another. Right? That's what Zephaniah 2:1 is all about. Coming together. Because there's some things that I may have that the brother may be in need as a resource, and now we both have it. That's what a nation is, man. That's what a community is. That's what family is. Right? But I yield with that, King Salaki.
No, definitely. Great points being brought up and being made. And it's right on topic. Because we are gonna need one another. It shouldn't be every man for himself. That shouldn't be our motivation. That shouldn't be what fuels us. I'm just out here by myself and I gotta get mine. Nah, because guess what? When you have few resources by yourself, just like you talked about that, the staff of bread being broken, you shall drink water by measure. All of that, having to be careful, having to ration out a day's worth. You don't. It might get to that point that you have to ration out a day's worth of water. Oh well, I can only drink 8 ounces today. When you used to go into your fridge and getting water freely. But guess what? If you was built up with your community and networking with your people, that 8 ounces could be a full 16. If you have more when you're together. What they say, it take a village to raise a child.
Mm-hmm.
It take a community to get through a storm. You know what I'm saying? And we just want y'all to be prepared. You know, because the name of this lesson is Trumpets in the City. You know, we're setting off the alarm and we're blowing trumpets as watchmen in the city, because we want our people to be alert. We don't want you to be caught up by surprise, because a lot of people are actually caught up by surprise. Let me play this video. I'm gonna share my screen again.
Don't forget, King, you may have to turn your sound on. Make sure your sound, I think it gives you the option when you share, but I'll tell you if we can hear it.
Okay, let me know.
Multiple American citizens that's stuck in
Can you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
at least 14 different countries because of this war. And one of the main places is Dubai. It's a woman there that went to celebrate her 30th birthday. She is stranded in Dubai right now with no way to get back. She booked numerous flights. All of these flights have been canceled. Mind you, again, let me say this. She is an American citizen and she is stuck there. Matter of fact, look at this shit.
Hey, y'all.
Listen.
As you know, I'm the girl that decided to spend her 30th birthday in Dubai. And I'm coming on here very humbly, asking my president to just seize it. I'm an American taxpaying citizen.
Hey, King, what's crazy is the fact that you think Trump care about that.
See that?
Trump don't care nothing about you being an American taxpayer. He don't care. He not saving you. She want the message to go to Trump, and she think Trump gonna get her just because she in Dubai and having a bad time, but she can't get home. Like he finna shut down everything. Put on the SS Abraham Lincoln and then send it. Nah, it's this. But if you were paying attention to the times, you probably wouldn't have went over there.
Nah, facts, man. Let me get a quick precept, King, the classic. Let's get Lamentations 4 and 17. Just to go along with this, you know what I'm saying? The scriptures, man, and we love this Bible, man. We just gonna keep it real. I know many of y'all do as well. But sometimes the scriptures just jump off the page, man. They just jump off the page, right? Let me get that, King.
You feel 17?
Lamentation, yes, sir. Come on.
It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
See that? And this is going on to the brother's point, man. Like, you out your mind if you think, these people that's in power really care about you. I think Trump brought out, if I'm not mistaken, what I'm saying, as I'm looking for the quote, basically saying that there are going to be some casualties, right? From the American people from this war.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's been some as well, but as far as military personnel, there has been casualties.
Yeah, and I found a quote. It says, I guess Americans should worry about Iran retaliating on U.S. soil. Like I said, some people will be unalive. You know what I'm saying? And so, like the brother was bringing out, man, now may not be the time for you to be traveling in and out to other countries, man. And the brothers, the brother that we watching right here, as well as the good brother Sar, is about to get ready to elaborate on that. I hear right there, King.
Let me get on Second Ezra's. How Second Ezra's 15 and 17, I believe, is just traveling from place to place because brother, the airport at Dubai, I believe, is the busiest airport in the world, and the airport is stupid packed. Like it looked like the club in there. Like it's
shoulder to shoulder,
crazy, shoulder to shoulder packed in there. People cannot get home. They can't travel. They were sending flights back to wherever they came from. Planes were literally turning around in the middle of a flight, taking the people back home. And what we bringing out is just like this woman is stuck in Dubai. She trapped because she caught off guard and was caught by surprise. She was caught sleeping, just like how Shai said. Can you watch for a little while? Are you gonna go to sleep?
Hey, Salakia, and she's also, if I'm not mistaken, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, King, she's having to pay for her stay. Nobody's paying for her stay.
Right.
She's trapped over there and having to pay extended days to be there. You know.
Right. We don't want you to be caught sleeping. We don't want you to be caught off guard. You know, that's why we bringing this out.
And I've now been stuck over here since the 24th. I've been blessed to be able to buy 3 different flights from 3 different airlines, and they've all been canceled. I don't know who this will reach. I don't know if it'll reach anyone, but I am desperate to get home.
King, she might not make it home. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what Iran is willing to do, man? I think I was reading an article, and I was reading where Pakistan, I believe, said that if anybody tries Iran, just don't do it.
It's up, yeah.
You know, it's up. You know, Dubai is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right there in that strait. Right in striking distance. Easy.
Then is this the same sister that was talking about how she hears stuff blowing up around where she's residing at currently?
I'm not sure, King.
I believe it may be a brother, but I know it's some other people stuck in Dubai that was saying that they were hearing stuff blowing up around them. Mm-hmm. You know, so man, hey, now ain't the time to be, you know, out there having a good time, man. Right, you know, to be honest, now ain't a good time to be out there having a good time in America. You know, you need to get your spirit right. You need to be, you know, in this word. You need to be getting built up. You need to be getting your resources together. You know, getting your ammunition together. You know, doing all these things that is gonna prepare you for what's to come, man.
Right, that's it. You need to be getting prepared. Get your house in order.
Mm-hmm.
Your house in order. This is I'm gonna bring this out real quick. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. See, they were going on about their daily life. Just going on about their daily life, thinking that life is actually going to persist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They say, oh man, America always get their stuff together. They always straighten it out. Man, I was having a conversation with one of my partners, man, and I know he not paying attention. I know he not watching, but I'm just trying to be the bug in his ear. And I'm like, man, you know, Pakistan really not. I mean, Iran, they really not playing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They getting technology coming in from China. They're getting fed intel from Russia, and so on and so forth. They really have the capabilities to be a threat.
Mm-hmm.
All they gotta do is just withstand and not be scared, like in Vietnam. The U.S. had to just pull out. They just pulled out because Vietnam really wasn't. It wasn't. I wouldn't say that they were winning, but they weren't scared. They was throwing what they had in there. And my homeboy like, boy, they ain't seeing us. Ain't no way.
See that?
We'll come through and tell her that, and you're not really even nationalistic. Like you're not even really. You don't even really have pride in the country like that, but you had your trust in nothing's never happened here, so you think that nothing's never going to happen.
Yeah, this just a narrative that has been spun to him, you know, and he done ate it up.
And when something happens, a lot of people are going to be unprepared because verse 39. It says, and knew not until the flood came. They didn't know it was till it was too late. It says, and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Like a thief in the night.
That's right.
Oh, to my family.
And to make matters worse, We already heard the president say that this war might last up to 4 or 5 weeks. And to add more fuel to the fire, they just hit an Iranian warship with a torpedo this morning in the Indian Ocean.
So a little context on that. The brother's correct. The U.S. did hit an Iranian warship that was coming from India during the exercise. India had invited Iran to come do just a little military exercise, and those guys were on their way back home. And they they saying India had leaked intel to the U.S. that of the location of this warship, and I believe they sunk it with a they sunk it with a submarine. But that just even more tension, even more conflict, even more reason for nations to be into it with one another. You know, the little messy stuff, the little just this whole geopolitical game that's being played.
More escalation to this war. Have you seen the airports in Dubai? Look at these airports.
Man, look at the airports, man. All these people, man. Bring out that second Ezra 15 and 17. All of these people trying to get home, they can't get home. Now, this could be in a city near you. This could be Atlanta. This could be Washington, D.C., New York. You know what I'm saying? This could be Los Angeles. This could be Houston. And so on and so forth, to the point where you can't even travel state to state. It can get to the point where it's dangerous going from state to state, city to city. People not even want to go out of their doors. You know, bring that out, King.
This the book of Second Ezra, right? Chapter 15 and verse number 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Right, because of conflict, because of civil unrest, because of hostility, because of just not fun times in the world.
That's right.
This ain't it might come this summer. You're not planning on talking about, yeah, let's go to Six Flags. You know, let's go to the beach. That might not be on your list this summer. You know, this summer you may be talking about we need to find the nearest bunker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Crazy, man.
The reality is they might not make it their first priority to get our American citizens home, but they're not safe where they're at right now. I'm out. They're
Hey, Salakia too, King. If I can, you know, one thing I want to put on the minds of you brothers and sisters to kind of let y'all know how serious this is. We live in what they call the great melting pot, right? So we have all nations here in this land.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is, if you think that Iranians aren't already here, you would be a fool. You would be a fool. And you don't think that they have some type of emotions invested into what's going on in their so-called homeland, right? You know, they call those sleeper cells. You know what I'm saying? And you can look up the definition of that, but in a nutshell, those are people of certain nations that's already camped out here on this soil, you know, just waiting for the time to, you know what I'm saying, to do what they need to do or to do what they're required to do. And we got to be circumspect of those things, man. These people love their people in their homeland, so-called homeland, right? And it's some that will go to adverse measures to show the love and the support that they have for their people, for their so-called president, for their so-called leaders, and for their so-called homeland. You know what I'm saying? And I yield with that, King.
Come Oh, I think it's a verse that I wanted. Um, while I'm looking for this verse, because it's dealing with exactly what you're saying. Did you have something that you wanted to pull up from that file dealing with the Greek organizations? Because I think we're gonna head there next.
Um, Shoot, we can just pull the file up, and you know what I'm saying, be moved through the spirit and power. Or how about Yahweh Shai? But I'll kind of go ahead and give an opening statement on what we're talking about, so brothers and sisters can kind of know, and prepare what we're going into. So, there's been a lot of, back and forth about so-called Black Greek organizations, Black Greek letter organizations, and I've been seeing people that have been a part of them, or that's denouncing their allegiance to their organization publicly. Is some that have denounced privately and they just kind of stop dealing with it, you know what I'm saying, per se. But it's some that are still a part of it and show their allegiance toward it. And they're mocking the people that have denounced, and kind of downplaying the idolatry, the wickedness, the witchcraft, and the evil that goes in amongst these organizations. And I'm gonna just come out and just keep it real. I would know about that firsthand. I was once a part of a Black Greek letter organization. Got the brands. You know what I'm saying? I allowed these people or these brothers to brand me like they do animals. Been a part of the rituals and things like that took place, which I wasn't cognitive when I was a young man of the wickedness that came with these organizations. I just was honestly happy-go-lucky in my ignorance and thought I was just doing something positive. But even in the midst of it, I just wasn't thinking that it was wicked. You know what I'm saying? It was wicked, and yeah, I got regrets of doing it. But to be just transparent, I know that the Most High work in mysterious ways, and being a part of that allowed me to meet some amazing brothers in the truth that were a part of it as well, and it kind of steered me to kind of who I am today. But we're gonna kind of go into some things, and we're gonna defend those brothers and sisters that have denounced, and we're gonna highlight some wickedness of these organizations, man, because they're not of God, man. They are not of God. And we're gonna stand against wickedness, man. The Bible say abstain from all appearance of evil. We know that these organizations haze, they beat on brothers, they beat on sisters. Brothers have been put in the hospital, sisters have been put in the hospital, brothers have died or been unalive, sisters have been unalive. Right? So we're not gonna turn a blind eye to those things. You can't love the world more than you love the Most High. It's that simple. If you love your organization more than you love the Most High, you're in idolatry. And you're already in idolatry anyway for showing any type of allegiance to these organizations, because they're not of the Most High. They're not of the Most High. And it's not to brag or anything like that, but I did and was a part of an organization, and I did it at a high level. So really, it was nothing that nobody could tell me. You know what I'm saying? You know, but yeah. Did you got that, King?
Con, are you talking about the file?
Yeah, or whatever you want to go forward with.
Con, I was gonna play a video, and
Con.
I'm gonna just play a video while I send this file to myself. But I mean send it to so I can put it up on the screen. But
Yes, sir.
I did find that verse. So when you were talking about the sleeper cells,
Oh yeah, con.
people being brought or people already being in this country and they've been over here for decades and just been having families and just been chilling until it's time to press that button. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 1. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind." So he's saying the Lord said he's going to raise up in the midst of Babylon a destroying wind. Verse 2, "And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about." You know, this is coming from the inside. The Lord is going to send fanners that are going to fan. You know, there's fan. Anytime you want a fire to get bigger, you add oxygen or you fan the fire.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord said He gonna send a destroying wind in the midst. How you gonna make that wind even more destructive? He's going to bring fanners or people that are that instigate, provocateurs, meddling, causing unrest, adding fuel to the flame.
What verse was that, King?
Jeremiah 51 verses 1 through 2.
Oh yeah, con.
I'm gonna play this real quick. And let me know if you hear this.
Hold on.
Can you hear that?
Let me share it real quick.
Each
My bad.
Yeah, we good.
Okay.
day we do a water, fire, air, and earth ritual. Each of these days, right? And so you see where it says membership in Delta Sigma Theta is a lifetime commitment. This is the sorority's sacred vow. We did vows, trust, okay? And we did bonds, all right? So it says life's composition is made up of 4 elements: earth, water, fire, and air. These are the pertinent conditions in which all human beings live and move and have their being. This has been so since time began and will forever. It says the physical body is likened to the earth. What does this sound like? The emotional self is like water. The rational part of us is like air. The intuitive part of us is fiery. So on each day, on the day of compassion, we did a Mother Earth ritual. On the day of courtesy, we did a water ritual. On the day of dedication, we did an air ritual. On the day of fellowship, a fire ritual, and so on again. Okay. And so I'm going to just read one of each so you can understand. But I also wanted to share this one quick thing about this. Okay. In Wicca, they also represent the 4 classical elements, which is earth, water, air, and fire. They do a ritual with dirt, plants, those things, which we did 3 Mother Earth rituals, one with plants, one with earth on a mat, and a Kwanzaa celebration at the end, which we're going to talk about that. Okay, this was the Mother Earth ritual that we did. All right, it says, pyramids, you now must commit yourself to a life of service. As a sign of this commitment, you will now take off your shoes and walk on the symbolic earth of our ancestors. And they had 4 mats that was down on the floor, and on each of the mats, they had earth and dirt that was sprinkled, and you had to take your shoes off and walk on this mat. Now, this is so blasphemous, as we know that anytime you take your shoes off and walk on earth, it is to represent something sacred that we see in the Bible when Moses had to take off his shoes, Joshua had to take off his shoes, and this represents that this is sacred.
So what the sister going into, man, is that, you know, she's exposing the things that she had to do in her Greek organization, and indeed telling you that these things are rituals. And it's crazy because I've seen a lot of people going into it on social media, man, and these and those that are still active in Greek organizations and in Greek life, they're defending it. You know, even post saying, "I must have been asleep when the devil worship was going on."
Yeah, man.
You know, our people are so numb to spiritual things, they don't even recognize when things are actual devil worship. Like we've been so conditioned by movies and TV and media that we think that devil worship is um,
Sitting around a campfire, lighting, you know what I'm saying, steaks, you know what I'm saying, and praying upside down.
right, like taking blood and
Mhm.
making star in the middle of the floor, making an A, and then putting a circle around and then getting rocks and like yeah, people do that, but that's extreme.
Yeah,
Nah, the devil worship or worshiping, because the word worship just goes into paying high respect or
honey,
exalting,
right.
you know what I'm saying, high regard to. So you paying a respect to a deity, that's worshiping the devil too.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? By you going to an altar and bending down to it and reciting certain words, showing reverence to this deity, that's also devil worship. And I don't think that these people were put in a trance or they were hypnotized when they were doing that. I think they did it willingly, but I also think that it's it's difficult to acknowledge the truth, and people rather hide behind a lie
For
than
sure.
actually say that that's what I did. I don't know. They think that they're gonna be condemned, that they're not gonna that they may not be forgiven, but you can't hide behind a lie. It
That's right.
just like in the sister bringing it out, and then she's giving you the handbook of what actually happened, word for word. You know what I'm saying?
It's Salakia too, you know, and it happens, man. I'm telling you firsthand, live. It happens. We had to kneel before an altar. We had to sign our life, quote unquote. That's what they called it. Sign your life, sign your name on the paper. You know what I'm saying? And there's songs and things like that that we had to uh, recite. Regarding our allegiance. And it's wicked, man. We've pledged people, got pledged. It's all manners of wickedness going on a high level. Um, and as you can see, if brothers and sisters just look on the screen right now, there's a brother right here named Collins Bennett that he has the Kappa symbol, the diamond, and he's throwing the yoke. He said, "These posts just make me wear my letters more often." And that goes on to what the brother Saar was just bringing out, man. Like, man, let me get a couple scriptures, cause we gotta see what the Lord say, man. Give me let me get 1 Corinthians 2:14, King. You know, our people lost, man. They lost in the sauce, and the reality is, and we always talk about it, man. When I was a part of my fraternity, I wasn't. I've quote unquote never been a terrible person. You know what I'm saying? But I was the worst version of myself. And when I decided to denounce my letters, I burned all um, my apparel and things like that. And I went and told brothers that, man, I still want to be brothers, but I have no desire to be a part of the organization anymore. And this is just my testimony, man, so y'all can know how wicked it is and how, like, our people, they're in a trance, man. They're delusional. The majority of the people was a part of these organizations with me that I had great times with, they stopped dealing with me, man, just because I ain't wanna be a part of the frat no more. They stopped dealing with me, man. And now I stand for the Lord, and I be on the streets teaching. We come on class and teach, and I'm kind of labeled as as somewhat of a weirdo. That's the narrative around the so-called Hebrew Israelites, right? But we're gonna bring a couple scriptures out. Read that for me, King. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse number 14.
And it reads, "But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned."
See that? And Brother Collins Bennett right here is spiritually discerned, man. You know, I was a part of the same organization that he's showing his allegiance to. You know, he's spiritually discerned. I don't know the brother, you know, but he's spiritually discerned. This is what this sister is bringing out is foolishness. Why would you do that? Why would you tell these secrets? Why would you tell, you know, why didn't you keep that, show allegiance to the, you know what I'm saying? That's what he's thinking. This is a fool, man. This is a fool, you know what I'm saying? In the book of the prophet Jeremiah, the 4th chapter, it says, our people are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. Our people have no knowledge of the Lord, man. You know, me, Sa'ar, and the brother Sa'ar's wife was talking, I believe this was last week or the week before last, and it's some stuff I done forgot, man, because I was so in the moment and I was, you know, it was so much going on while you're pledging, man, especially pledging at a high level. You know, it's just so much going on that you can't even remember everything that you did or that you went through unless it's brought to your attention. Oh yeah, damn, we did have, you know what I'm saying? You know, but it's a lot going on. It's almost like you in a damn trance, man.
Mm.
It's almost like you in a trance, man. You know, there's fees that have to take place. You gotta pay for people food all day. You know what I'm saying? You gotta bring alcohol all day while trying to maintain your doggone grades. I flunked out of school for the fraternity, man. Which means I wasted money on my classes.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, I'm still paying back student loan debt. All the pledge and be a part of a quote unquote brotherhood, man. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. You know, let's keep it a buck. You know, but man, we gotta wake up, man. We gotta wake up, man. Let me get one more, King. Let me get the Messiah, John 3 and 14.
I got you. You said John 3 and 14.
Salakia. John chapter 3 and verse number 18.
This is the book of John, chapter 3 and verse 18.
Verse 17.
Verse 17. But God sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
Jump down to verse 19 for me, Salakia.
Verse 19. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil.
Because their deeds were evil, man. This sister is bringing out the light, and Collins still can't see it. Brother Collins Bennett, man. She's bringing out the light. You know what I'm saying? So it can overshadow the darkness and expose the darkness that's going on in her organization that she was a part of. But Brother Collins Bennett loves the darkness because his deeds are evil, man. That's what the Messiah said. Right? Read verse number the next verse. What?
It says, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved.
He can't be reproved. The sister is trying to reprove the brother and reprove others. But they can't be reproved, says the Lord, says our King, right? Because they doeth evil. and they hate the light, man.
Mm.
See that? I yield on that, King.
King, let me get Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 10. Because man, but Yahushua just went deep, man. He said, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light. Lest his deeds should reprove him. That's what I was saying earlier, that I think people are afraid of admitting, because it's not like the sister lying. She pulling it straight from the book, straight from their book, their hand.
These day rituals, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, if I say that this is true, then that means I was a part of this. And then you look at yourself and you don't want to rebuke yourself. You want to believe that, hey, this isn't true, so I don't have to be associated with being an idolater.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a fantasy world, because it doesn't change you from being an idolater. Hey, we were in the Christian church. We were all in idolatry.
That's right.
Had to come out of it. And that's what the Bible is about. That's what it speaks about, especially when we get into the New Testament, when we're dealing with those that are in idolatry, when those that were worshiping devils, with those that were involved in rituals and all kind of manner of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Bring that out for me, King.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse number 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they may be saved. And
the love of the truth that you might be saved is that, hey, Christ died for you because you were filthy.
That's right.
Because you did have evil deeds. But you got to confess that you did, know that you did, and repent from doing it. But a lot of them not going to do that. Can I finish that up for me?
Verse number 11. And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. The
delusion is that they say within themselves is that, man, that ain't how that's devil worship. This is a Christian organization. This about Christ. This about serving Christ. We be doing all this charity work that we do. Oh, so I even saw somebody say, so you gonna say that all our civil rights leaders were idolaters? Martin Luther King, I don't even know all of them that was in group organizations, but if I can go back and we can run down the list, there's a lot of civil rights activists that was in group organizations.
A lot of so-called pastors. A lot of so-called pastors, man.
Right. Are you gonna say all of these honorable people? Well, listen, I'm not a respecter of persons, and you shouldn't either. That's what the script doesn't call us to be respecter of persons. The scriptures call us to be true and righteous in our judgment. So yeah, these people did great things, but we also have to say that these people they weren't in the right organizations. As far as what they pledged themselves to.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy, man. I got a brother, man, that's, was my so-called line brother online that's repentant, and he's doing the work of the Most High. Shout out to that brother with IUIC, man. He's doing the work. Shout out to IUIC. We talk. We you know what I'm saying, not as much as we used to, but we've talked in the past about the stuff that we went through, and we say, damn, bro, like, it's crazy that our people would devote themselves and go hard for the organization to the point where they get beat down. You know what I'm saying? Go broke. So on and so forth, man. for the things of this world, a wicked organization, man. Because that's what it truly is. Um, but when it's time to go hard for the Lord, they got excuses, man. They got complaints and they got, you know, they're cautious, you know what I'm saying? And and it's crazy, man. When you really start to think about it and process that, it's like, man, like we devoted so much time, man, to wickedness
Mm-hmm.
that when it comes to be righteous, we don't got no time. Like it's mind boggling, man. We used to have to stay up, or we may get in at 3 or 4 a.m. You know what I'm saying, and have to try to go to class, or you may not go to sleep because at some point you got to do your homework. You gotta, like I said, I flunked out because I chose sleep over going to class. You know, um, which I did go back and get my degree, which of course, that don't really mean nothing. But I don't want y'all to think your boy idiot. You know what I'm saying? I'm so-called educated, so-called. You know what I'm saying? According to the standards of this place. But I'm trying to be educated in the eyes of the Lord. But um, yeah, man. I just want to bring that out, King. It's crazy that we're like the scripture we just brought out says, we're wise to do evil, but to do good we have no knowledge, man. And we gotta have knowledge of doing good, and that's good, which is objective, in the eyesight of the Lord, man. So we gotta change our ways. We gotta repent, and we hoping this video reaches y'all brothers and sisters that's in the Divine Nine and these Black Greek letter organizations. And just give it some research. Just think about it for a second, man. And again, you talking to somebody that did it at a high level. You know what I'm saying? When I was in the frat, it was more so of a game. It wasn't, we fighting other brothers in other chapters. We not cool with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't really pledging like that. Y'all, quote unquote, they call it paper. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't good over here. That's what type of, situation it was.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it some thought, man. You think that's of God? You think beating these young men down is of God? Be for real. You think walking across the burning sands, which the Bible goes into giving your child over to Molech. That's where these organizations get that from, the burning sands and things like that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's deeper than the surface. You gotta dig, and you gotta think about stuff for a little while. Like, damn, what's the meaning? But then again, these the same people that celebrate Christmas. These the same people that keep the traditions of this world. We don't want to dig deeper than the surface because the things that we'll find out, it will destroy our whole life. But that's what this word is about, man. It's about coming to grips that your life has been a lie, repenting and changing, and getting built back up as a son and daughter of the Most High. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? That we've lived a lie. The majority of my life was a lie. Until I found the truth.
Yeah.
And Christ said in John 8:32, they shall know the truth, and the truth shall make them free. And now I'm free.
Free indeed.
I'm free indeed, King. Salakia, good brother.
Nah, you good, man. And I think if you don't want to.
Nah, we ain't even got to do that. We done beat that. Yeah.
Come on, man. But yeah, it's, and I think, man, I was thinking about this, man, as you gave your testimony, man. You know how we take up arms and we make it our mission to get our people out of the Christian church. We make our mission to fight against specific doctrines. We make it our mission to, get our people out of Islam and all these different religions that they in. And I think we should also make it our mission to get our people out of these certain organizations. And I see a lot of people doing it, that's not of our faith. And I commend them also, because it takes courage knowing that you got whole organizations that are willing to, persecute you. They're willing to say all things about you. They're willing to come against you on social media, blackmail you. They're willing to, even go to the lengths of taking you to court. So I think that should be a part of our mission, man. We got several brothers that I know that have brothers and sisters that were involved in the organizations, and we should speak on it and just add more light to it from our perspective, that as brothers and sisters being well studied in the scriptures.
King, are we gonna really close our eyes to brothers and sisters that have died pledging?
No, I can't.
Or that have been put in the hospital because they were pledging? Man, come on, man. We gotta be for real, man. We gotta be for real, man. That we're gonna say that these things haven't happened and that they're not going on to quote unquote be real.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Be real in the Lord. I yield, King.
Come on. And man, this is a touchy subject too, because this is man, we didn't think that. Well, me myself, I didn't think people really bowed down anymore. I thought, that the forms of idolatry morphed into something a little bit more hard to detect, and people really doing it and not knowing that they're doing it, man. So we gotta, and it's a lot of chaos. It's a lot of chaos too, but we're gonna bring it out whenever we can. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring it out whenever we can. It's a conversation that's needed to be had. It's trending for a reason. Even if it wasn't trending, we're still gonna bring it out. But before we get out of here, I want to talk about some stuff just going on with the Epstein files and just the hypocrisy, and to tell the people that, man, these political figures, these high-ranking officials, they don't care about playing by the rules. They don't care about being law-abiding. They don't care about being equal. They know that they're above you. They don't have to follow the laws. And it's shown with these files, man. Just how we all know what's going on with Epstein files, and just the certain people that have been, the names that have been dropped. My purpose wasn't really to get into the details of it and whose names have been dropped. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to talk about the hypocrisy behind it. I want to talk about how, some of the files have been blocked. Some of the things have been, so you can't read certain names, so that you can't, some of the files haven't been released. The FBI has, or the CIA, one or the other, they have redacted some of the files. They have brought them back, concealed them again. And it's all hypocrisy, man. When we got brothers that go to court for drugs or whatever, their files are wide open. You know, when we want to find out somebody that's a snitch, their paperwork is wide open. There's nobody to redact anything, any statements, any involvements of any illegal activity. We don't have that power. It's not given to us. They put us in prison in a heartbeat. But when we have the so-called leaders of the free world have been involved in messing around with children, been involved in rituals and being caught up with people that just get down in all this freakism. Now all of a sudden files are redacted, things are hidden. They don't want to put the files out, say they want to put the files out. It's just a whole bunch of confusion and hypocrisy. But the Most High is doing it for a reason. Hey, I'm thinking of this at this moment. It's too many wars to fight. It's too many wars on different fronts to fight. The U.S. is fighting in internal war. You got these files. You got all of the political figures involved. You got them tugging at one another. You got people who want to prosecute them that are also high on the political scale. They want to prosecute them. They're going to court. They're fighting these things, being questioned. Satan is casting out Satan. You got the president being heavily involved. He's stressing about this. Then you got this war in Iran. He has to deal with that. Then you got ICE going on and they're being rebuked, causing civil unrest. People want to take up arms. It's a lot of tension going on, especially here. But if you could you grab Psalms 73 and 73 and 5.
This is the book of Psalms, right? Chapter 73 and verse number 5. It reads, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men."
This is talking about the wicked. This is talking about the ungodly. They're not in trouble like other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Listen, man, Michael Vick went to jail. He went to prison for a dog. But you telling me that all of these high-ranking officials and politicians are not being sentenced and judged for having involvement with child trafficking, pedophilia, freaking off with women of all ages, sexual harassment, videotape, caught on camera pictures, blood rituals, secret involvement through emails and just all kind of guilty by affiliation, being there, being present. But
flight records.
You know what I'm saying? The evidence is all there, but Michael Vick went to prison for a dog fight. You know what I'm saying? They're not plagued like other men. Jump down to verse 8.
Verse number 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily.
So they are corrupt. You know what I'm saying? They're bought out by Israel. It's just coincidence that every time it seems like Trump and Netanyahu bump heads, some more files come out. We talking about just going back to we was talking about earlier, about the civil complications that could come about with war. You know, a lot of government funded programs have been cut. Where is money going to? Oh, the money going across the water.
War is expensive, man.
That too.
Yeah.
War costs billions.
Mm-hmm.
The money going across the water, we fighting another nation's battle
See that?
because the people are corrupt.
Mm.
Con. But that's about the ungodly now. Let me get 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And that's just what I wanted. That's the picture that I wanted to paint. You know, all these things have to come to light. All these things that were hidden, that were done in what it seemed like plain sight, that just we weren't paying attention to. The Most High is bringing it to light, and you got to know that just like that woman wanted Trump to come save her, to be her savior. Man, these people not caring about you. They're not thinking about you. They thinking about themselves. They saving themselves.
Right.
Bring that up.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse number 8. It reads, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth." Hey, no, I'm going off, man. No,
nah. What you?
I'm thinking about them brothers blowing in their mouth.
Hey, if they read that, they probably would have did it though.
They probably would have did
They
it, brother.
probably would have did it, but you know what I'm saying? The wicked got to be revealed, and we know it's talking about a wicked man, which is, you know, this is talking about Esau. We know it's talking about Edom, that is being controlled through the spiritual demon Satan. But just like it talked about the Antichrist, there are many Antichrists. There are many wicked men, and it's all been revealed from this Greek organization stuff to these politicians that are corrupt and dirty, to the leftists, to the feminists, to the LGBTQ community, to those in Christianity. Man, I just seen another video of some woman pastor talking about planting a seed. She need $100,000, and she ain't laying hands on nobody until she get it. She ain't finna heal nobody.
See that?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they say the Lord gonna consume them with his mouth. What they say, the fire of his mouth?
Right.
That's the word that's gonna burn them up when he judge them. But these things gotta come to light. They gotta be brought out. They got to. But man, we just hope y'all paying attention to what's actually happening. Paying attention to the world and being watchers.
Let me get a quick precept, King. Let me get the book of wisdom of Solomon. All right. Chapter 6. In verse number 1.
This is the book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 1. It says, "Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth."
Right. So this chapter is going into, kings giving ear, addressing, right, those that are in positions of authority. Let's jump down to verse number 4.
Verse 4. It says, "Because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of the Most High."
All right, read on. Now we drawing this in comparison to kind of what's being brought out and what's happening right now, because we do know that the scriptures can sometimes be twofold, and if you got skill, which we believe that the Lord blesses us with, you can show how this is still, happening through the powers that be today. So watch this. Read verse number 5, King.
It says, "Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall he be to them that be in high places."
See that? So as the brother that was bringing out, that he brought out so eloquently in Psalms, the wicked that are in the powers that be are acting as if they're walking away scotch free when they have committed horrendous crimes. We have a brother, and only the Lord knows what these brothers done did. Brother R. Kelly and Brother Bill Cosby, in his old age, are currently serving Fed time. P. Diddy, so on and so forth. But we can run down a list of heathens, Hugh Hefner, that have committed those same things that these brothers have been accused for, and nothing happened to them, man. Nothing happened to him.
The owner of Victoria's Secret, he currently going to court, but for decades, nothing has happened to him.
Nothing has happened to him. And I heard a brother bringing out, and it's all speculation, that Epstein Island is just one of many islands. That these things are taking place.
Could it possibly? We don't know. The Most High he gonna reveal it though.
And the thing about it, man, and this is all hearsay, you know what I'm saying? But they were saying that I was listening to a brother, and he was just talking about, man, it's a reason that Epstein got revealed. And we know that the powers that be, when you go against them, they start to expose things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to be cognitive in this day and age, man, that a lot of these people that they say are the bad guys turn out to be the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the good guys turn out to be the bad guys. So we gotta keep that in mind, man. Read verse number 6 for me, King.
Verse number 6. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented.
So these mighty men that are in the high places, that these kings and these rulers and things like that, you're gonna be tormented by the Lord, man. The Lord got your number, your money, your power. You know what I'm saying? In the accolades of this world are saving you right now from judgment. But the true judge has your number, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't no escaping the angels of the Lord, man. Right? So we wanted to bring that out, man. You had something else, King? Or
I was wrapping it up.
Man, let me get Amos 3 and 6 real quick. Because to go along with the title of the class, man, shall a trumpet be blown in the city? Oh, kind of bring it out for me, King. My bad.
No, you good. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, and verse 6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it?
Right, which we know all things are the Lord. Right, but we're out here blowing the trumpet. And that's the brother, to summarize, eloquently spoke. Trumpets were blown in the ancient world to warn the people of war approaching. Danger is coming and judgment is near. Right? And so today we're using the trumpet to do all those things and to spiritually wake up our people. Right? And warn them that judgment is near, that war is coming and ongoing, and the dangers, that comes with war. Let me get Sirach 5 and 7, King.
Come on. It's the book of Sirach. We said 5 and 7.
Come on, King.
And it reads, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. But suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
So now is not the time to tarry or to wait or to make excuses of not turning to the Most High God, man. You know, because destruction drive nigh. Um, Judgment is inching closer, and in your security, you know, thinking that you have time, you're gonna be destroyed, man. You know, so the Lord want us to make haste. He don't want us to be lukewarm. He don't want us to straddle the fence. He want us to give our life to Him and unalive that old man, that old woman, and live a life that's pleasing in the sight of the Most High, man. Amen. Again, we appreciate y'all joining us, man. We pray that y'all were edified. We want to encourage y'all to come together, man, because we need one another. We need each other resources. We need one another knowledge. And the scriptures say that two are better than one.
Right.
You know, in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4, man. So we need to, you know, be stacking up on non-perishable items, water, you know, and things like that, man, and be prepared for what's to come. But most of all, we need to have your spirit prepared. But again, we love y'all, man. And again, we thank y'all for joining us this Friday night. Man, go on, close us out, King.
Come. Oh man, I can't stress it enough, man. Just the water to the Most High for for the information that was brought forth. Brothers that's paying attention, I appreciate those that send me articles and send me videos, man. Let's keep it up. You know, let's make that routine. We got to be watchers not only for ourselves but for our people. But with all that said, I appreciate y'all for coming on today. I hope that you have a good rest of your night and a great weekend. Keep fasting, keep enduring, keep hanging on, man. I already know just the trials and tribulations of day to day, the curses that we go through, the brass over our head, you know, the weight on our shoulders, but just keep enduring, family. But with that being said, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.
Shalom, good people.